So let's kick off to an amazing day two. So recap quickly on yesterday, we were starting with mindset, which is so important because often our mindset blocks really hold us back from business and moving forward. So today, let me just let that put this in. We are going to be talking around selling with certainty, but more around making your offer a no-brainer. So really, really important that we get focused on what is the offer we're putting out before we're going to sell it. So tomorrow we'll go and be even more certain about what we're going to sell, but we're going to get clear on the offer. So this isn't about being liked, getting all of the attention and vanity metrics here. This is about taking action this week, getting things done, being really clear and impossible to ignore, which is really important. And it's especially important to cut through the noise when it's really noisy in this world. So I really want you to get close to, if you're on yesterday's and if you weren't, go and catch up and make sure you get your actions in by the end of Sunday. But I want you to get really close to that dream number you want to hit by the end of the summer. Like write it down, like see it in front of you. I see mine in front of me every single day. What do I want to earn this year? And obviously then I do it down to quarters and I do it down to months. But I'm really, really crystal clear on it. So I know what I'm working towards and I know the numbers of what that means in conversion of people. So I really want you to stay super close to that number. A quick reminder as well of the prizes. You've got content audit you can be winning with myself. I'm going to go through your content and give you feedback on what's working, what you need to work on. A stack of my 5 business books. I think I showed one today on my socials. What's this one? Which is absolutely amazing. The Psychology of Money, which I think is often one of the biggest reasons to hold us back in business. And that's why I'm always sharing I offer money mindset course in the mastermind because it really does help people to overcome their blocks around getting out there, talking about their offer, and also proposing like some big figures of people. And someone will win the kind of the golden one here, which is the VIP strategy day with me, which includes lunch, and we can really get all my eyes on your business and what's working really well for you and giving you that plan for the next 90 days and beyond. So let's jump straight into it. What makes a no-brainer offer? It's a little bit one of those hashtag things I have is no brainer. I have, what's another one? Boom. Get out of your own way. I have a nat nudge. I've got these kind of little one-liner things that I always share with clients. And one of them is about like, is it a no-brainer? If it's not a no-brainer, how do we make it a no-brainer? Because we really want people to go in, yes. So when I put out some offers yesterday, I end it with, are you in? Ready to go? And people are like, yes or no, or not for now. But I love that idea of, again, getting that momentum, that drive, that build. And if they're not a no or a no for now, then what's going to make it a no-brainer for them? What's the gap? So I can work on that gap because that's what's really important. So a no-brainer offer gives you absolute crystal clear clarity, a desirable outcome of your dream client, and it actually brings people in that really are going to be great clients for you. It boosts certainty so they will achieve the result they want through sharing proof, a process, and confidence. If I'm not confident in what I'm selling, no one else is going to be confident. And I always kind of share this really bad role play, but I will say like, oh, if it, yeah, it's it's £1,000. Like that confidence is not the same as when I'm like, yeah, amazing. Let's get you started. It's £1,000 we're going to take today. We'll get you on board and we'll get you straight in and you book your one-to-one with me and we'll give you the action plan to get going over the next 90 days. Out of the two, which one is going to be the one that probably gets them like the confidence coming through that client? It's the second one. So it shortens that time in the sales process and it gets people to the point where they, reduces the effort you're putting in, the overwhelm, the fear of why aren't they buying or where's my next client coming from? All of these things that are mindset gets us into that mode of, and that doesn't help us move forward. So it's about stacking so much value that someone would feel like almost a bit stupid going like that's not for me. No, that they do really want it, and it's understanding, well, how can you get them to a point where they're able to invest in it. So that's why I have a podcast that's free. Lots of the people in conversations I'm in often say, I've been listening to your podcast or I've listened to it, and if they aren't in a place to invest in the mastermind, then I'm angling to go and listen to the podcast. There's superb value in there. Reach out and let me know what else you need some help with and I can send you something else I've got. So I'm always trying to add more value along the road. So people don't pay for offers, they pay for clarity, they pay for speed, they pay for implementation, getting it done. Like we've got abundance of information all around us in 2025. That's not the challenge. That is not what's going to future-proof your business in a challenging market and beyond. So it's not about converting all the time. It's around working on tweaking the offer that you make. It's not always about the price either. Like there's the sayings out there that people who pay commit and people will find the money for what they value. And it's absolutely true in what I've seen. And I'm sure you will have seen that example too. So, step one, we have to be really, really clear with who we're speaking to. And we need to speak to that avatar. It's not enough not to niche and not be specialist in something and known for something. I'm known for messaging, and I've worked solid on that for a good few years now to in something that almost is very generic in helping people grow their businesses and make more money. But it's specific in the way that, well, why would you come to me? Because I specifically help you in a messaging part that someone else wouldn't. And it's often this part that we don't have the messaging set and really clear. How do we know what offer we're putting out to people because we're not clear on the offer to who it's for? And then how can we make the right price point to that market if we don't know that? So this is why we've created a system for messaging. It's all around knowing and positioning our messaging, then speaking to our ideal client, then doing the sales and the marketing around that in order to then bring clients in. And then you've got the whole cycle of the client experience and client delivery. So we have to be super really clear on who is it we're speaking to. And you've got a couple of examples here you can see. And this is what I'll be looking at when I'm doing content audits is, does it capture my attention in this way? Can I look at your social media and say, I know what this person does. Is that for me? Yes or no? That's like we've got seconds to capture people's attention at the moment. So we've really got to be clear. So it'll be client specific to the problem they have. Because if you're not solving that problem, they're going elsewhere. That's as simple as it is. People aren't waiting on wait lists anymore. They're not waiting for somebody to come and just they'll watch for months and months. They have a problem, they're investing. I had a problem in December. I wanted to start doing ads. So I went to my mentor and said, who do you recommend for ads? Spoke to that person, signed up within 2 weeks, and I'm working with them within the month. And I've done the work on ads. And I'm continuing to do that this year. But I knew it was a problem and I wanted it fixed. The longer that problem went on, that was costing me time. So we really want to be clear again with here, who do you help? Who's that avatar and speaking to that avatar? And I'm going to share with you how you do that in a bit. A no-brainer. So if you're just starting out, start for free, do pro bono, and get great results and give epic value so they want to come back for more. I love the Walt Disney quote, and you see I love Disney up here, but around like do what you do really well, so well that other people bring people to you and show what like, something like that, and then show you all the great work you do. So it's so important we have that impact on people. We really give the value. I'll just take that off a second and really help people move forward. So it's the fastest way to rise and add goodwill. So show what you're great at and they'll want to come back for more. Get incredible results and build a value baseline. Be really clear on how fast something does, like take the effort away and the likelihood of the result versus a risk. We don't invest in things that are seen to be really risky because we want a result. So we have to present that in our offer. So breaking down the value offer, what do they really want? Is it something that really helps them move forward? Are we stacking it with proof testimonials? And if we haven't got those, we need to go and get those. Time to succeed, and we want to take the effort and the ease. So we want to take the effort away and make it easy. Like people like simple. That's why I'm all about simplification. If I can't explain it to a 10-year-old and somebody they get it, it's too complicated. My brain can't compute with complicated. I want really super simple. And business isn't complicated. It never was when I worked in retail for many years. It was the people that made it complicated. It was the people-based issues that I gave most of my time to. So again, keep things really simple, smooth, and tangible. Because price is what you get and price is what you pay, value is what you get. Perfect quote by Warren Buffett. So let's build that offer matrix stack for you. So this is what I work through when I'm doing any offer, and I'm really taking it step by step, and I want you to adopt the same. I'm going to take you through how I've done that in a moment with the mastermind. But we've got to be clear on who it's for. What do they want? Is there a secondary outcome to what they want as well? What is your framework, your method, or your formula? You know, what's the pathway that you have for people? You'll see that a lot right now. People talking around this, the proven strategy, the proven pathway. You want to be able to demonstrate you've done that. And that's what I went and created when I started messaging. How can I help people get from A to B? From poor, messy messaging to clear, compelling messaging that is dialed in, that attracts their ideal client, that brings them more money. What are like how long does it take? So again, what's the time frame? What's the bridge between interest and commitment for somebody? That activation point and getting them from like that, not quite sure to I'm in. How do we move the friction is really important. The obstacles, the self-doubt that people have, how do we overcome those? What's the actual transformation they achieve? And then record it. We need to get it out to the world. And we're going to be doing all of that in really quick pace today because it is that possible. So I'm going to break this down for you step by step, and I'm going to give you an example through doing the mastermind, which is what I've created. So who is it for? My mastermind is for coaches, consultants, and service providers who are stuck in an income plateau. They're creating, but they're not converting. They've potentially got great offers, but they're not getting enough eyeballs on it. And they want to grow without the burnout, right? I've been there, burnout. I've been there with depression. So I can empathize to their scenario, which is really important in messaging. They're ambitious and they're really done playing small. They want to play a bigger game. They know that there's so much potential out there and opportunity in the world, and they want a part of that. Um, so that's who it's for. That's kind of bridged on a bit about what do they want, but they want to grow an outstanding business that creates demand, that gets consistent sales and gives them the actual freedom that they really want. They want to create success on their own terms. They want clients who invest. They want clients who engage. And I often say this in my membership and in the mastermind, like you're a mirror. If you feel that if you don't engage in things, why should you expect others to engage back in what you're doing? And it's the same when it comes to conversations. If you want people to, if you want to have great conversations with people, like you have to put yourself out there and have great conversations to start with. It starts with us. So they want more consistent freedom, income. They don't want to be this feast and famine and yo-yo and no cash flow because that really limits their potential for growth. And then therefore a business that feels like a business, that doesn't feel like they're playing at being an entrepreneur because no money's coming in or because they don't feel aligned or on track to where they're working towards. So a secondary outcome for my client is probably they want to feel more confident again. There's lots around mindset that we do, money mindset. We work on how they show up as well, like going live, like things like this, what that takes, because it's not overnight. And to stop second guessing, to just go for something, to lean into, fail fast, to not see failure as a weakness, but actually be vulnerable and it's a strength. And I'm all here for people like, just give it a go. Let's just see, like, what's the worst that can happen versus no, wait until it's perfect and then we'll roll it out because there's never a perfect time for things. And they want more visibility, right? But they want it to be in a way that works for them. And then the steps A to B. So, what's your framework method? So, I have a whole method that I use around messaging, which I explained a little bit earlier. And this is specific to my business. It's not for somebody else to copy. It is what I believe will get people to have great messaging. So, it takes them from being ignored to in demand. Again, it's that A to the B, is what we really want. So, the second part, then, when we're breaking it down here, comes to knowing how long it takes, the transformation before and to the after. So I really want to be really clear with people like it's 6 months investment when they work in a mastermind because they want to build that momentum, sustainable growth. They need to implement the roadmap, and they need to often get out of their own way to move forward on a lot of the things that we work on. So there's always a time frame. Is it you work with somebody and they come on the onboarding and you give them their 30-day action plan or their 90-day action plan? Maybe let's say you've got an offer of a VIP day. And like I said at the start, when we do the ones that I work with people, they leave with a 90-day action plan. And to be honest, quite beyond because they can take that 90 days and use that for the rest of the quarters in a year. So it gives them that clarity and focus to think bigger and long term, which is really important. So then I'm thinking around reactivation points. So what, as you've got here, is a bridge between that interest and commitment. Well, I'm thinking around the things that they really need, what's going to help them drive that result. And a lot of that's going to be about keeping them consistent and on track to doing the work because people aren't going to do it for them unless you do it done for you. So then we've got the personalized onboarding. So the minute they come in, I'm getting them in a call with me. I've got one this afternoon because I want them to see that we are focused, that we've built that momentum. You can kind of get sometimes that quick buyer's remorse. It's because people wait too long, right? And we all have it and we've all experienced it as well. So how can I get them some quick wins straight away? Because that's always possible. It's exactly the same in fitness. I've got many friends who run online fitness businesses. and they want to get people quick wins. So they'll be targeting them to a nutrition set plan for a few weeks that will help them lose a bit of weight. Now, often in reality and through my experience, it's only water, it's not weight as such, but it's a win. And it helps that person focus and build the momentum, which is so important. And I can speak that knowing in my own terms of losing weight and fitness, that those wins, they really matter. So again, we want to be showing people that is what is possible. How else do I do that? I put them into a WhatsApp group. So there's a community to support for people to listen to them, to support them and to engage. And community is huge. Like running a business is really lonely. And it's one of the biggest things I have to be super aware of that I struggle with. I don't have that naturally day by day. There's people I can delegate things to and outsource, but that bit of banter, having some fun, having a laugh at things, like jokes aside, I thought it was brilliant seeing Victoria sharing there in Action Day One. If you haven't done this, go back and do it. But she was sharing around her dog Oscar has got 5 million views on YouTube. And I'm like, hang on a second. So now straight into the group. And I was like, what on earth is this? And how do I not know this? And then we were having a right laugh around. She was like, look at the video. And again, we were talking around the fact that I have this big thing about cats and dogs do better on reels than I would do, which is never going to change. But the community element, the supporting one another, the being in the trenches, I get it that I know how you feel. This is what we're going to do, or just keep going, go for it. I've got friends that I voice note, and I will literally rant about a day and say, why am I doing this? This is horrific. I hate it. I can't do it anymore. I'm going to go and get a job. Like we all say those things. And then they bounce back and say, nah, you're not going to get a job. Nah, you're going to do this. You're going to do that. You're doing amazing. Keep going. And we need that. And there is not one successful person I know that would turn around and say they haven't been there at some point. Even I remember when I met Marie Forleo, she shared the experience of when she started her coaching business, she got 5 friends in a room and one person that she wanted to be the new client, and or her first client. And it was like down in the basement. She had like a little flip chart thing, and she created this like quick PDF, and she was like, but it worked. So we all start somewhere. And that's why building a business is more about like 90% of this is about mindset. So then there's weekly trainings in there. I do sales trainings. I do the business trainings. There's the mindset work in there they can work on. We've got Sam, who's the lead strategist who helps on the financials, which is so important. So there's lots of different ways to help people to get the result. And then we want to remove the friction. So if sales is hard, like simplify the process, go in and do the things with people and help them. Where they lack the confidence, got the mindset calls. Like break down the friction for them. And if you're not sure about what this is for your client to create your offer, go and ask them. They're the gold dust for most of the problems and questions that you have. Then we want to move quickly to, we're going to move on. It's quite pacey, I know, but again, you can take this framework and spend some time going through it. The transformation is then what they achieve, like what that A to the B, that's what people buy, the outcome. And lots of offers I see are just fueled with the stuff of the what they get, like the features. You get the coaching, you get this, that. They don't want that. They want the outcome of what that brings them. Same as anyone who's a mindset coach or just confidence, like what they want the confidence for what? To do what? They want a better mindset because of what? That's the outcome of what they buy. So we need that clarity. So then we're looking at the pitch. So we're bringing all of that together and we're going to position it out as an offer. So I might say if you're feeling stuck, not because you don't work hard, but because you're saying the wrong things in the wrong way or right things in the wrong way, this is for you. If you want to make 3 grand, but you're stuck second guessing yourself, your messaging is unclear, it feels so messy, and you don't know how to build an audience, this is for you. So we create that clarity in the message, and this takes time, but we build this, and this is why I want you to take it step by step because it works. And how do I know it works? Because I've worked with clients on it. So I'm sharing today around the case study with my amazing client, Victoria Bremner, who's a masterminder. She's a dance business coach and strategist. And she came in, and you can see here, like the step by step that people take. Get your first client, get your second client, again, start sharing that social proof. She's sharing a lot of great results right now, which again helps to build trust, and trust sells. So as you can see, the benefits of what, again, I can see here with what she's doing, what's helping her in my offer and what's not. So I'm always refining it. So there's some things in the offer that I may say to people at times like, we have this every single week. Does it work? If it doesn't, why am I doing it? Let's take it out. Let's change it up. And I'd rather that transparency with people because I want to get them results. Last month, or this month, we're wrapping up today, we've done a short series every single week, just a 30 minutes extra bonus of creating a masterclass. And I'm taking step by step doing the masterclass each week. So then they've got the break in between to go and do the work. Next month, we're doing the same when we're doing a focus on what I'm doing here right now this week, which is a free challenge. I'm taking them step by step on what that looks like, how to do it, because they have to build an audience, and doing a challenge builds an audience well as well. But then again, you can see what she's sharing here around the wonderful community that I've built. So I know that helps to keep her focused for inspiration. And again, the accountability form done. Every Monday, do an accountability form to keep them locked into like, are you doing the thing you say you're going to do? I know where their gaps are and what they need help on. So if they tell me at the end of that accountability form, Natalie, I'm stuck, I need help, I reach out to them personally and say, let's help you on where you're stuck right now. Let's move you forward, because it's no use somebody coming into an experience and getting to the end and not getting the result they want. I just can't understand that. I'm going to touch very briefly today on pricing because it's important, but I don't want you to get too hooked up on it. But it would be an element for you to consider. And it comes around the point of, I echoed it yesterday, and that one client once said to me, I can't believe you asked 10 grand to work with you one to one. I said, well, I do, and people pay it, and I will ask for it again. And you won't earn that if you don't ask for it. So people have money in this world. It's flowing abundantly all around us. Money is a tool. I have no attachment to money. The more I earn, the more I can help more people. That's the way I see it. So there's this idea, and you can go and have a look at it yourself, but I've summarized it here. But the £6,000, the $6,000 burger, and it's this fancy steak and whatever. Now, the reality is, would I pay that? Maybe. I'm not quite sure. Maybe not. I would for a steak, probably. Um, but it's got a standout design. It grabs attention and instantly differentiates from anyone else in the crowd because of the price point there. It drives perception, the same as when you go into a supermarket and you see something like, let's take Sainsbury's, for example, a taste of difference, a brand. So let's say McVitie's, and then their lowest tier, which is basics. And there's a reason why all of those are also stacked. So in a merchandising way, because of our eye level and attention to what we buy, which is a whole nother topic. But price drives perception. So if you have something that is £1,000, you'll bring value to things underneath it. If you don't have anything above that's all the value there. So that having that golden burger, when I say to people it's 15 grand to work with me one to one, that brings value to everything else. So when a 3 months is 5 grand, sometimes it's a better position for people than the 15 grand. So again, it's around perception here. It signals premium value and it attracts buyers who want the best. And I know that to be true for me when I work with mentors too. Sell the experience. People don't pay for the beef, they pay for the status, for the story, for the emotion, for the experience of going and having that. That's what they're buying. That's why lifestyle works really well and compels people. It's why you see people on traveling a lot, or yachts, or on these amazing Disney holidays and everything. They're selling the experience, that emotional pull to people, storytelling, which is what we're talking about on day 4. Stack it with value that justifies the price. So, it's the best of the best. It's cooked by the best people in the world, the best chefs and things. So think around the price point here, and just what your offer is right now in terms of that. Or are you positioning it at a lower end where you're always going to get people that aren't maybe valuing that price and commitment? So let's come to the action. I'm going to wrap it up because I don't want to keep you any longer than tops 30 minutes each day. These are what you're going to do. You're going to pick one of 2 options. And in my head, I was like, you're complicating it, Nat, but I think they're very important because they're very different. And you will all be in different stages of your business. And I want to give you options of things to try because both work. And I've given you examples of that. And this is clients doing it. I shared it with a client yesterday who was messaging me in the DMs. And I'm like, let's just do this now then. Let's give this a go. So option 1, I want you to roll out. And if you're on my email list, you'll see this. I roll it out every 2 to 3 months, I think. It's just kind of automated now. So I'll say, hi, Gemma. I'm going to be working with a handful of private clients this month. Would you like to work with me? I promise you, this brings it gets probably 3 replies within 24 hours easily. And I have a small list, but I remember it brought in £6,000, 9,000 pounds in September last year with 2 clients that came in. So with different offers that I had at the time, actually. So it works. And again, I shared this with a client the other week. And again, she was like a bit of a cycle where she wasn't making sales. And I said, let's just give this a go. Just throw it to your audience because we don't know where your audience is right now. And we were doing a pivot. And I said, we've got to just test who's in that audience before we just, again, just say, oh, they're not the right audience for me. We don't know that to be true. Let's try it and see. So this works great, this option. So this is the option one. You can do this. Try and give it a go. Roll it out. You could even share it on a post like on LinkedIn. I'm looking for people. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Option two. This is, and I've given examples here, and I've used our gorgeous Victoria again. This is for the I'm looking for strategy. Now, what I love about sharing this today is I've seen people throwing this out as part of their marketing on ads around people shouldn't be sharing this anymore. I'm not going to be teaching you about this. This works. And that's what I'll share with you is stuff that works. I'm using this in my business, and you'll start to see it more over the next week or so because I'm sharing it. But this is a looking for strategy for looking for 5 people, and you'll see them, and you can roll them out. You can do it, I don't know, bi-weekly, monthly. I wouldn't say do it every day, but again, it's something to position there. But it works really well to speak to the avatar. So again, I've given examples, 2 examples here, and the reason I've done that it's slightly different. So the first one you'll see, and there's a template for you to go and do, and it'll be shared in the Google Drive if you choose to listen and catch a replay through that and share. You can pop it in there for me so you get to go towards winning the prizes, or you can share it in again the feed today and just put done. If you would like, you'll win a bit of a bonus today, which I'll share in a second. This is what we're looking for. I'm looking for who we're speaking to, the avatar. Ready to ditch your freebies, stop guessing, and finally build a consistent 5K a month online business with a clear road and a clear and proven roadmap. That is what I'll put out. It speaks to the avatar. It's speaking in the messaging in terms of, they're tired of the freebies. They're tired of the second guessing. They're tired of not building that consistency that they want. And then there's a different one here, which you could also frame as well, is when you have social proof, is to share that. And I'm sharing it there. There's Victoria, and then there's her getting that result and sharing it. So, and I ask all my clients when I work with them things like what we can share and not, but it also brings them, it builds their audience as well. I know that when I can share people and doing things, that's why I say tag away, because if I share it with my audience, you're likely to build your audience that way. But I helped Victoria launch her first group program in less than 8 weeks. So Victoria came into the mastermind in March, midway, I think. We'd already started this concept and idea. I think she had the first one was in April because she started that. Well, yeah, it would have to be because she started the group program beginning of May, which has gone amazingly. So we're looking to do her second launch of that as well, September onwards. So again, she did it without a large following, without a boring sales page and spending thousands on ads, because we don't have to be doing that. The aim of the game, like I said yesterday, sales page is to get people on a call. So I want you to try today's action. I want you to give either option 1 or 2 a go. It's completely up to you which one. I don't want you to do neither. I don't mind if it feels super silly and you feel really uncomfortable. I want you to be uncomfortable. That's good. If you want my help or you want to just sense check something, then either send me a message or just ping it straight into the group and let's just see, because it's great for other people to see as well. And because it takes a few goes to get this like where you want it to be. And sometimes I'll put that out, that that one I showed before, 5 people, and I'll get nothing. And then other times I'll put it out and I'll get 3 people in a day or 3 people in the next 3 days. So you've just got to keep that consistency all the time and be really clear to buy from and accessible. So important. If I have to jump through hoops to get on a call, to get something I want, like I'm out, I can't be bothered with it. I want quick and easy. So I want you to post and say you've done in the thread or on a Google Drive form. I should just say Google form. There is an optional bonus. If somebody does it and posts it today and tags me in it, it has to be done today, then I will give an audit away to someone who does that. And it will just go into random, so somebody will win tomorrow. But I will then literally do a content audit where I go through and I'll give feedback on what's working and what you need to focus on your content. There's already one prize to win that this week, but I'm going to give you a bonus one today because I want you to take action. I want you to do this work. The only thing that will get in your way with this is you. So I want to get out of your own way and get over yourself, as I keep saying, because this does work. but you've got to try it and give it a go. And you've got to try different things to see. So when I get something like that that doesn't work, I don't go, oh, I'm never doing it again. I'm like, well, why didn't it work? Why did it work for them? What else can I do? The same as when I hear people say ads don't work for them. I'm not doing ads. We just haven't made them work. It's not they don't work when they work for billions of people in the world. I can't default to that belief. It's how do we make them work for our businesses? That's the difference. So I want you to remember that there are people making money that aren't better. They're just bolder than you. They're getting out of their own way. They're saying it, they're offering it, and they're inviting people in. And they're making their offer a no-brainer by refining it, by working on it. But they're only doing that because they've got people in their programs buying from them to be able to do that. So this is why it's really important that we get clear on who our offer's for and making it a no-brainer. I'm going to leave that there for today. I know like, if you've pinged any questions or things, I won't answer them on here. I'll answer them in the group. So it really helps other people because I find sometimes I can answer questions and then somebody else has answered it. And actually, the space is really safe to just help one another. There's never a stupid question ever. I just want you to be vulnerable in there and share it because it will help other people. And that helps me help more people quicker. So I will leave it there. Have an amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. for day 3, where we're talking around sales.